What the Texas governor should do is invite those who were trying to find housing in his state to give them housing instead of sending them here. We believe, based on our preliminary review, people were being interviewed at the border.
And Chris, in addition to New York, the latest busload of migrants from Texas arrived in Washington, D.C. late Tuesday night. Texas says it has sent at least 5,100 migrants to the nation's capital so far. Chris?
And Arizona, too. Hey, Mike, the Biden regime has been flying illegal aliens into New York for months, dumping them in more conservative parts of the state. Not a peep from these elitists in Albany or New York City. Do we know why they've been silent up until now?
Yeah, Chris, that's really the question of the hour. We've known about these migrant flights being flown into Westchester Airport, another airport about 25 miles north of New York City. Going back to last fall when the New York Post first reported it, a lot of these migrants were being bused to smaller communities in the Hudson Valley in upstate New York. What a lot of people who don't live here maybe don't realize is while New York City is very liberal, most of New York State, nearly all of it, is very conservative. So up until now, you haven't had really a peep from Kathy Hochul or Eric Adams about these busloads of migrants because they haven't affected where the moneyed elites live, which is Manhattan. And now they are being affected by these migrant crises, to which a lot of the border communities, as you just mentioned, in Texas and Arizona have been dealing with for years. And now New York City, Manhattan in particular, where the Democrat donor class lives, they're now dealing with overrun homeless shelters, hospitals, school systems, basically all of the infrastructure it takes to run a city. You're having the utopian policies, in theory, really being put to the test now, and they're failing. And really to emphasize this, Chris, back in January, you had the New York City Council vote and put into law, at least for some time, nearly 800,000 non-U.S. citizens that were going to be able to vote in citywide elections. Now, that was later struck down by the courts here in New York City, but Eric Adams didn't have a problem with that. It's now that it's really becoming a crisis where the rubber meets the road. And